Oop. Hello, everyone. How is it going? We are doing a stream. I am a little bit late, and I need to tweet. So, how is everyone doing? Pardon me whilst I tweet, inform my constituency. Nope, not like that. Come and watch me talk about my TTRPG games and how I plan and run them. Twitch.tv / Elven Wizard King. All right, the tweet is out. It is now time. How are we all doing? I think I am going to have another one of those very bitter, very sour beers. Where did I put the bottle opener? Oh, I am just misplacing things left and right. Well, boo. Might have to resort to some untowards way of opening this here bottle. Now, why I don't just have a bottle opener on my keychain, I do not know. But we shall soon remedy this. I had a backup. Alright. So how are we doing? How is everyone this fine night? Hopefully you are keen to listen to me speak on the matter of my campaign planning and so on. There's a lot to talk about. A lot has changed. And a lot is to do to change even further. I'm also on the verge of a big road trip, but I didn't go today like I thought I would, which means I can stream and drink alcohol. It's mild alcohol, but it's all good. Oh. Okay. Let's get started. So we didn't, let's see, talk about Goofy Battletech Stars. We'll put that towards the end. Goofy Battletech Stories. Boy, this just keeps getting longer and longer. I might have to make my own section specifically for the 40k game because it's getting a little wild, which is not a bad thing. But it is making this kind of difficult to navigate. So maybe let's see, we'll get to that in a second. All right. So Monday games, the school game. All of this still applies. We didn't get to play last week. It's been kind of a bummer. I feel like we're losing steam. We're getting to the end of the school year. I think I talked about that. I'm not. We obviously didn't play today because it's our spring break. Let's see. Let's do it like this. Let's see. Put plans on hold. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Make the library maybe like a climax or a midpoint. Maybe a fight with a lieutenant of Orcus. Because even though shoot. Sorry, I just got a message from someone. Let me see what we've got going here. Alright. Well, hell's bells. Alright. Now that that's taken care of. Alright, how are we all doing? I don't know if anyone's on yet. Maybe. All right. So yeah. I'm just writing this out. Even though I normally, or not normally, even though I changed the order in which the group would, son of a gun, come on, type correctly, in which the group would meet demon lords. I think I will keep Orcus here. I like Orcus being part of the Graven Hollow situation. And it'll be good for, I guess, maybe like a midpoint climax. I don't know. Like if this was a 2-movie deal, it'd be a good way to end the first movie. Let's see. So Tuesdays are going swimmingly. And I'm actually going to just, let's see. We're going to take all of this gnarly and awesome, not gnarly, radical information. And hello, Governor. How's the day treating ya, my love? Let's see, Gribius Fremulon. The best part of 40k, I think, is that you can name any character anything, and it would sound like a 40k name. Reboot Gilliman, that's a name. Goj Vandire, that's also a name. Let's see. So Tuesdays, boom, Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory. So we've got our Dramatis Personae. Phanodius Thimbar. Oh yeah. Let's save that. Ooh, got a lot of really cool stuff there. Session 5. Yeah, this is still a lot of info, but I need it. Top of the morning to you, love. Something, something, they'll never get me Lucky Charms. Oh my god. Let's see. God, even with me cutting down on the things that I've got. Let's see, maybe I can trim this further. Last time on Dead Hope, the group finally went to the Giga Farm, infiltrated the sector where the cult was working. Would I like to see a more open world survival style remake of Secret of Evermore? Maybe. That would be kind of dope. So are we talking like a Breath of the Wild Evermore? Let's see. Infiltrated the sector where the cult was working. Intimidated and fought with farmer / cultists. Fought a small group of modestly armed mercenaries and a psyker, and won. Now the group has witnessed the ascension of the lead cultist, who was also a psyker and became possessed by a lesser demon of Sinch. Yeah. Secret of Evermore would be dope to remake. I don't know how I would necessarily want them to. Like that would be fine, an open world style one. I'd be totally okay with that. God, I wish this beer wasn't so sour. Mm, Let me think. All right. Off topic, I'd like a Final Fantasy Tactic War of the Lions in a novel format. Ah, that would be awesome, actually. Um, yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I would be all for that. How did I misspell Ascension? Okay, well, whatever. So, group lead meets Lady Hyacinth. So we all already know all of that. Gigafarm murders, already know all of that. Chaos Spawn, Lesser Demon. Yep, I already know all of that. Uh huh. Session 5, fight the demon. Pretty open-ended, but also will require some fiddling to keep the Inquisition out of Hyacinth's hair. Again, might be great place for Alexander to shine. Mm. I've been listening to Dead Hope. I've just had the boys not check out. So you've gotten to the part where they've met Lady Hyacinth, it sounds like. Awesome. Let's see, Alexander being a PC and a Grey Knight Scout, connections to the Inquisition. Um, let's see. Root out cultists without the Greater Inquisition finding out, or Hyacinth loses her farm. Maybe make some tricky RP. Also bring in Tech Priestess. Yeah, that could work. Might be first run in with. Let's see. Where is let's see, there was a Commissar NPC. Or Inquisitor Tremaine, no, he wouldn't give up on that. Commissar Luke Veldin. It's time they met one of the Veldins. Oh, come on. Commissar Luke Veldin. See, if the cultist had been possessed by a Slaanesh demon, a different kind of fiddling would have taken place. Oh my god. So Slaanesh is the let's call it the demon god of hedonism. Um, I think that pretty well covers it. Slaanesh is like everything that you might know about Cenobites, if you've ever like watched the Hellraiser movies and kind of dug a little under the surface of what they actually are. Um, they're kind of like pleasure and pain demons or some such. Yeah. So like Slaanesh could be like the Cenobites about every extreme of every sensation, whether it's pain or pleasure. And usually both at the same time. Let's see. Let's see. Cultists, Inquisition. Other aftermath items. Group will get map. Hyacinth may not, or may ask to go with them, but group will start to get notoriety. Maybe they will start to be stuck by a group tied to Phenodius. This may lead group into conflict with the gang or leader. That should be really fun. Also, consider looking to Black Rock Fortress. Let's see. Murder solved, but also demon to fight. Then go to Space Hulk. So there's not a lot more to say or do on this. But basically, maybe I should just kind of. Okay. Group is heading towards Gilead Prime. Gets signal from Space Hulk. I guess it should be lowercase. Space Hulk. Now, a Space Hulk is basically just a derelict ship in space. And like so many things in Warhammer, it just has a cute name to it. So a Space Hulk is just a generic name for any spaceship that's like just drifting in space and like, derelict and not under its own power. Why would the group check this out? Question mark. Let's say it is on a collision path. Is that right? I don't know why that looks like. No, I misspelled it correctly, or at least the way that I thought it was. Let's say it's on a collision path with Ostia. That's perfect. So the group, at the very minimum, needs to get on there, fire some thrusters, and shoot it off in a different direction. Maybe at some enemies. Who knows? Let's see. Sorry, I'm just gonna take the music down a skosh. I do like this music though so far. All right, that's perfect. So they can't ignore it. They can't just be like, "Oh, a Space Hulk. Why would we go there? It's probably too dangerous." Let's see. So we already have everything that we're gonna do. They're gonna interact with a bunch of really neat and interesting things on the Tau ship. They could potentially save upwards of one Tau if they so choose, but they may not want to. But they're definitely going to destroy this dark AI, the abominable intelligence, which as they're referred to in 40k. And then we've got the things about the Sisters Repentia. One of them might die, but I'm very curious to see if the group has any inclination towards not having them die. So that should be interesting. They could be redeemed. And they might even come out of it with a new understanding of the kind of egalitarian methods of the group. Let's see. So Wednesdays, Dawn of Thay, we did play last week. We should be able to play this week, as far as I know. They're still going through the science lab. It went a lot better last time. There's not a lot to kind of go through, but let's see. Further dangers, emphasizing exploration, whatever. Druid's Grove. Okay. Forward base near the Grove. Maybe make a Thayan city. Okay. So how about next big plan. Thayans are using old shoot. What is that old magic civilization from Forgotten Realms? It is let's see. Looney says, I mean the amount of loot that could potentially be picked off an abandoned space wreck should be motivation enough to go skull. Yeah, Netheril, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of Netheril. Netheril magic to cause problems for the druids that Chana, one of the players, belongs to. They will create a Tower of Light where extractions of old magic happen. Group may have to go and put a stop to it with help. Okay, I think I like that. Let's see. A lot of loot could be potentially picked off of an abandoned space wreck. Should be motivation enough to skulk around there. Yeah, but I also have to account for my group, and this is any group I run. I have to account for them being paranoid and careful, because a lot of them will be like, "I'm not gonna go in there. There could just be a bunch of chaos in there. Why would I fuck with that?" Or they might be like, "We'll just blow it up. We'll blow it up from," and they might decide to just destroy it outright. What's the state of your Thay with their typical ongoing conflict with Reshaman? I don't know much about Reshaman. Is that like the Far East? Is that the Far East, like kind of segment of the Forgotten Realms? Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. It's directly north of them, neighboring country. Not a lot. Like, I'm guessing that they're still in conflict, but the Thayans, like they are, just like dick around with people far and wide. Paranoid and careful. I feel so called out. That's a lot. Paranoid and careful is a lot of my players. Many of them. All right, so Klaus the Gnome, we've got some really good stuff going. We've got all of this. We've got the druid stuff figured out. Let's see. 10th level, you can turn into a Dread Dragon with the following statistics, and it's very good. It's very amazing. Level 14, Dragon form is improved, armor class is 17, hit point total is 150, and your strength is 22. Let's do 100. Just to change a few things around. All right. Strength is 22, and your Constitution is 18. All right. So I think that's fine. Name the unicorn. What did we name the unicorn, Rooney? I know we named the unicorn, and I just can't remember now. Unicron? No, I don't think we named the unicorn Unicron. All right, pardonnez-moi. We will go back to the question of the unicorn. Let's see. We've still got a lot of stuff to do. Maybe I'll use the spring break to start watching these movies. Dagnabbit. Don't forget to mention the absolutely magnificent trap you sprung on me. Such a masterful tactics not even Jose Mourinho could come up with. Yeah, let's talk about that. So Wednesday Class the Gnome. We can very easily talk about what happened last time. Last time, Klaus was asked to deal with Zvarts due to a strange incursion into his forest. The Zvarts were... Why do I keep capitalizing the X in Zvarts? I don't need to do that. The Zvarts were... are apparently in league with someone named Vecna. Yeah, I know it's in the logs. I'll remember and put it here at some point. I know we've got them. I just plumb forgot. Klaus tracked them down, saved a family of lions, and approached their village, scaring them all away with a masterful combination of all his assembled allies working in concert. When Klaus went to retrieve a disc said to be an evil artifact, a dragon emerged from a great stone where the artifact is kept and said some menacing things to Klaus the dragon. And that's how we ended that session, with the dragon appearing out of vapors and being really rude. Let's see, but that's good, and I've got lots of really good plans, which I'm not going to write out here, but I've got them in my brain, so we won't talk about Klaus the Gnome and the plans they're in so that it doesn't get spoiled, but I've got them, and they're good. I might even be able to delete the stuff I've got here, and I might move the Demon the Fallen stuff to a different spot for when we get back to it. Thursday game went really well. Let's see. All right, we've got the whole roster. Let's see. Last week did some RP with the roll game. Entered the city of Balgor. Found out that there are static ghosts within, and an active arena. Also, one of the giants that came along got teleported to the arena. Also, cultists of Chantico are there. Finally, also, the Pontifex's men are there. So that's what that sound was. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Okay, we read Rise of the Rune Lords again. I went through it. We did all of this. I didn't do the tech from the distant past. But let's see. Ghosts of the City announce in the Colosseum. Okay. Now I need to figure out what the contest is going to be. You know all those clips of Elden Ring players getting their worlds rocked by the giant ass bear that always catches them by surprise? Yeah, that's how I felt with the frickin' dragon. Completely felt it. I hear that, Looney. See, I try and keep things fresh. Hmm. So hopefully I succeeded in making things interesting and exciting. Let's see. Contests. Let's see. Cooking. That's a given. Um, Hunting. Oratory. Parkour. Sneaking. And combat. Last one. We should end with the combat. And then combat will be via champions and composed of only up to 5 to 6 people. We'll give everyone a fighting chance and give some rather potent enemies, but nothing overwhelming. For instance, the night owl and maggot demon may be one whole team. Looney says, me getting felted by dragons was the theme of last week. Now that I think about it, completely felt it on Wednesday and Saturday. A girl can't catch a break, I tell you. Oh yeah. Oh man, we gotta go back at that one though. Jiminy Cricket. Those damn elder dragons. But we'll get them. All right. So I feel like this is a good kind of segment so that they can do like maybe one or two of these ones and then finally the combat. So Pontifex. Let's see, teams for combat. Pontifex, Night Owl, and Maggot Demon. Shantico, a Night Walker. And Zoliad. Let's see. What would Zoliad do? Yeah. 2 Rune Giants. These would be the Proto. These would be the Proto Ogre Mages. Probably will have the group fight Pontifex, then Zoliad fight Shantico's group. Zoliad wins, group wins, then they fight. So group will go against Rune Giants, weakened by Night Walker. Cool. Use Death Giant stats. Let's see, I guess I should say if the group loses, Zoliad will retreat to his tower anyway and will have a power boost as he tries to unlock all of the powers of the essence. Alright, I think that's a pretty good setup. And I honestly think that we're very likely to complete this maybe in the next 2 or 3 sessions. So we're getting really, really close. And it might start to get to the point where I might have to do a survey. Survey what comes next. And then we can decide what it's going to look like. Do we want a few weeks break? And so on. Maybe I need to start giving a menu of options. Alright. So I'm going to take away the Sam thing because I don't think Sam's actually coming in and watching. He did like once or twice. What's on the menu? Well, there's a couple of things I've been thinking about. And I've been throwing out this menu because I'm starting some other games as well. Where were we? There we go. Let's bold that. Okay, menu of options. So menu of options, one, winter-themed adventure. 2, Mediterranean adventure with giant monsters, kaiju. 3 would be Tyranny of Dragons, and then 4 would be that's right, Call of the Netherdeep. Is it meat? Is meat back on the menu? Not quite. I guess I should just do this linearly, but I knew that it was likely to do this. All right, that's actually not that bad. But those are the things that I've been like kind of shopping around. I might actually I'm taking Tyranny of Dragons off of the menu because well no let's keep it on because they might decide they like it. But I might want to add a fifth one, and I've been trying to figure out like a pretty decent inspiration for what I would want to do. There's a lot of games that I haven't run, including Princes of the Apocalypse, Storm King's Thunder. Um, I've kind of done Dragon Heist, kind of. And then other than that, I think I've run just about everything. Princes of the Apocalypse, lol. Um, let's see. I've been doing a bunch of vanilla. This is Loni. I've been doing a bunch of vanilla Narwa and Ibushi quests, going up for a build with big electric defense. She's gonna pay for what she did on Saturday. No goddamn monsters. BTFOs me twice and gets away with it. Well, yes. Actually, hmm, hmm, hmm. I might have to give 5 some thought. Anyhow, so Fridays, we're gonna shoot. So Fridays are gonna be a big change. Student game will be turned into a West Marches game. Play by post. Might require a lot of work up front. But we'll see. Everybody's schedules are a little wacky, so I think I'm going to switch it to that. Just to make it a little easier for people to interact. We'll see how that works out. I've got my fingers crossed. Saturday, we actually gave up on Chult. Let's see, redo. That was I liked how that all went, but there's so many new people and so few of the people who had been doing the Chult game with me. Saturday we're just doing Tyranny of Dragons. Going swimmingly. Only homework is to figure out next session. Need to read next chapter. Figure out how to modify it. Not super hard. Can do on the fly. How far did they get? They finished chapter 1. Which, by the way, just by itself, Tyranny of Dragons, I hate the way that it's structured. I hate the way that the first part goes. I hate the way that the second part goes. I hate how throughout the entire game you're basically just a minute, like a day late and a buck short for every single event that happens all the way through. I want to say halfway through the next book. And I set it up so that the players felt like they were doing something successful in that first part instead of just getting shit on. Because I've like the way that it's run, you go into this town that's getting attacked. I mean, you probably know this. You go into this town that's getting attacked and looted by like raiders, and a big blue dragon is flying through and destroying a bunch of stuff. And you kind of go through and you try and help. There's um, combats that are ridiculously overpowered for your level, which is first level, and you get beat up a lot. And then finally, you make it to a keep. And once you get to that keep, you talk to the commander, and they're like, "All right, this is what we got to do." And you try and kind of like, do stuff to help out the community. And eventually, the blue dragon shows up, like right next to you. It lands, and then like this champion, like a half dragon guy, pops out and challenges you to single combat that you cannot win. Um, yeah, you cannot win that single combat, or at least it is very statistically unlikely. And the whole point is like, oh well, he respects you for trying, and they leave because they already got what they wanted. But it's so defeating and it's so awful. So what I did was I had them run into a gentleman who was being um, interrogated by the raiders. Number one, I made the raiders all bandits. because I think the way that they had him in there is that they're all thugs or they're all something. They're way too hard to kill otherwise. But his bandits, like a good, well placed hit will take them down. One hit, two, almost two at most, and it worked out really well. But then I removed the half dragon entirely. He's there, but he did not challenge anyone to single combat. Um, then when they ran into the gentleman who's being interrogated, they interrogated that gentleman. He's just a farmer, but he's a farmer adventurer, and he had an arrow. I'm sorry, a bow, like a long bow with two dragon slaying arrows. And they basically interrogated him because they knew he had the arrows, so they had prior information about this town. They're like, all right, hit that guy first, so we don't want him taking down our dragon. So they found him, and he's like, hey, my arm's fucked up. They fucked up my arm, so I wouldn't shoot this bow and arrow. Y'all need to go and take care of this. Like, take my bow, take my arrows, and make them count. Of course, they fucked up the first one. But they shot the dragon. They managed to shoot the dragon with the second arrow. And it didn't kill the dragon, but it did enough damage that the dragon just fled. And when the dragon fled, so did the raiders. They did already get what they wanted, but it felt like more of a victory. It felt like they were enacting some kind of change. And they sent the dragon, fleeing, but it wasn't like I gave them something so powerful that they would be able to then use it to defeat the dragon easily the next time they thought they found him. Went perfectly, went exactly the way I wanted it to go. But the way that it was written, it's just so sad. Like, it just, there's no point in the group doing what they're doing because you just get shit on left and right. And then the next part of it is that you have to go through a whole enemy camp with hundreds, I think like 200 bandits in that camp with like some even more powerful things. And when they revised the book, they made the people who were guarding the half dragon even more powerful so that you couldn't just go there and take care of him. So there's really not much of a point. Like, all you're supposed to do is go in there and rescue someone, but they don't make that especially clear. And if you fail even one stealth check, then you're imprisoned along with the guy, and you have to go through this whole process through which you're imprisoned and you have to break out, and it's this whole thing. So yeah, like, even the breakout is just really ridiculous, and like most undisciplined dungeon masters will just let you fail through that whole thing, and it's gonna feel like a quagmire, in the worst kind of way. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, and that's what we're gonna do. Sundays. So we're done. May start new group every other week, and that's using the same menu of options. Fridays actually will start new game with coworkers. Same menu. And I thought about having the people choose different things off of the menu. Like, if one group chooses one thing, I take that off the menu for the rest of them. But no, even if they all three choose the same thing, that'd be fine. That would be okay with me. Because I like doing the compare and contrast. Mike Shea of Sly Flourish does that very frequently, where he has two groups and they'll do the exact same adventure, and so that way he can kind of like modify and switch things as he sees them happen in each game, and I think it's genius. And I've done it a handful of times. It works out really well. And the best thing about it is, at least when I do it, I let things from each game affect the other game. So like, if one group does something really out of control, the other group will then be able to like see the effect of that thing, and they might even kind of sort of meet. I didn't read this from Looney. Looney, as quote of the day, Emma Live Dangerously and say Panzer Dragoon Saga needs a remake. Yeah, or a remaster, or a port, even anything to rescue it out of the Saturn. Literally anything. Yeah. I swear that if somebody just with a little bit of time on their hands could do something with like RPG Maker 25 or whatever it's up to now and remake it, I'd be so happy. If people can make Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, they can make this. If someone can like fan make Five Nights at Freddy's or Undertale, they can make this. Like somebody can get off their ass and just remake Panzer Dragoon Saga. Like they can do it, but I don't know. Someday maybe. I just want the stupid collectors to go to hell. Is what I want. All right, BattleTech stories. Let's see. There's a bunch of questions from last time. Running jokes. I'm gonna keep these. So way back in the day, when my friend Victor, who used to live in Mexico City, and then he moved to El Paso, or well to Juarez, but he introduced us to BattleTech, and we had no idea what the fuck we were doing. So we were just. Looney says I was going to mention Live Alive, but I've been beaten to that so hard. I already had a pre-order on my Play Asia. That's fantastic. I'm so excited about that one. Shoot. Sorry, y'all. Let me get my druthers and pour myself another little bit of soda to make this damn sour drink a little less sour. So anyway, we're playing BattleTech. What's going on? Is this a advertisement? Is this some kind of advertisement? There we go. So we had no idea what we were doing. I'm just going to say this. It'd be silly to write this up. We had no idea what we were doing. We I think there was a computer program that would, even in the days of the year 2000, there was a computer program that would build your battle mech for you. But if you went with like the light option, it would fill a bunch of your spots with something called endosteel. And whenever you got hit in BattleTech, it was like this random roll to see what part of your BattleTech got hit. And every so often you'd get hit in your endosteel, which wouldn't make any difference. Because if you got hit like in a weapon system, if you got hit in like some kind of gyro that like kept you upright, that would be a bad thing. But if you got hit in the endosteel, at least as far as we could tell, and as far as I still know, because I'm not super well versed, it did nothing. And so we would be playing and like shooting each other and be like, all right, where'd you get me? Endosteel. Okay, all right, you shot me again. Got me in the endosteel. All right, just keep shooting me in the endosteel. And at one point, our friend Victor got so frustrated, he's like, no, you will take that endosteel, you will strike it out, you will cross that endosteel out. So like for the longest time, we would be like, you take that endosteel, you cross it the fuck off. And then, oh my god, all of the ridiculousness. So we were playing on this like imaginary map where there were these like ridges and mesas, and my friend John was playing, and he was trying to be kind of like he was really trying to like ring the system for everything that it was worth. And so he's like, all right, so can I look over this like plateau? Can I look over this mesa? And they were like, okay. And he's like, well, I've got head cannons, so I can see someone else's character. No endosteel for you. Yeah, exactly. But John's like, so I can see another character over the mesa. And they're like, yeah, so? And he's like, well, I want to shoot them. And logic dictates that if I shoot them, the only thing that I can target is their head. And like most BattleTechs, whatever, the pilot compartment was in the head. So that was like a clear, one shot kill. And so he tried and he like just totally missed. And that person, I think that was Thomas. So Thomas was like, okay, it's my turn. Now I get to do the same thing, right? Like basically the same roles apply. And they were like, yeah, I mean, that's what we rolled. So that just is fair. And so he got a critical hit and took John's battle mech out in one shot because John was being real greedy about the his chances for taking down Thomas's character. So that was real fun. And then in a different game, so like I mentioned gyros, but if you took out a battle mech's gyro, it couldn't stand up very well and couldn't stay up. Like every time you moved, you'd have to make like some kind of dexterity check basically to make sure you didn't topple over, and then getting back up was even harder. So Thomas had his gyro knocked out, so it was like everything he did would require like on a 2d6 he'd have to get like a 12 to do anything and not fall over. So he's like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna like, there's Jim's character, I'm just gonna go tackle him. And it's like, well, you got to make all these rolls. It's like, I don't fucking care, I'm gonna do all these rolls. We're gonna fucking do this. And so he proceeds to roll uh like 4 snake eyes in a row somehow. We don't know how the fuck he did that, but he did. He rolled 4, and he didn't cheat. He's not the kind of guy that would cheat. Known him for like 25 years at this point, or longer actually. But anyway, he just rolled them, and he rolled like 4 snake eyes in a row. Not snake eyes, sorry, it was boxcars. Whatever, you get the idea. He rolled 4 boxcars in a row to like run off this mountain, not fall over, and slam into our friend Jim's battle tech. And in doing so, he knocked down his gyro. And so they both fell over. And all they could do for the rest of the game was just like use their head cannons to shoot back and forth at each other as they were like meters from each other, just like knocked down and unable to do anything else. So that was really hilarious. We did have a very fun time with BattleTech. I probably would play a different game if I wanted to do it over again and kind of have that same kind of goofy fun. But it was goofy fun. We had no earthly clue what we were doing. None. Not even a little bit. But all right, I'm gonna try and make this this stream a little bit shorter because I have a long drive in the morning. But I do want to entertain any questions. I also see there's a bunch of people in the chat that maybe have not spoken. So do me a favor, if you are in the chat, if you are watching and you are not a bot, ask a question. Even just a simple one would be appreciated. And remember, even if you're not a bot but you don't want to say anything, I'm just going to even if you're not a bot, I'm just going to throw my link in the chat for the new podcast that we're doing, wherein I am recording the Warhammer 40k game, and you can kind of catch up with our shenanigans from there. But yeah, does anybody have any questions this week? So Victor was really funny. Guys, you've run out of ammo for your head cannons. I throw rocks at his cockpit. Yeah, that's exactly that energy that was going on that day. And I think it helped that like Thomas was like upset at Jim for some reason, so he just wanted to like take his mech down for whatever. Shoot, where was I? Oh yeah, no, Victor was really funny. He introduced us to this game called That's You. Let's see, what do you want to have, or what do I want to have resequeled? So yeah, let's do question of the day. Chrono Trigger or FF6 or Lunar the Eternal Blue. I think those are my top 3. There might be some others in there, but those are the ones I want. Chrono Trigger needs a sequel. I don't think it needs to be remastered. Honestly, there's not much to gain there, and that's just because it's such a good game. I don't want a remake of Chrono Trigger. I want like a good direct sequel. Chrono Cross is fine, but I want something that's more direct and kind of goes through what the people have gone through. Final Fantasy VI needs an honest to goodness remake, and I would love it. May not happen, but I would love it if they made a remake in the style of the Final Fantasy VII remake. That would be so cool. I don't think you could do it with any other kind of graphics for it to matter, because taking away the, like, if you're going to take away the pixel art from 6, you're like, you better do something amazing, because it's not like, as time has seen, there's not a lot there to like, you can't improve on that. Like, it's already so good, just like with Chrono Trigger. In fact, for that matter, if they did like a really super duper awesome Chrono Trigger remake, like with Final Fantasy VII remake, I'd be fine with that. Lunar the Eternal Blue, I just want it. Like, even if they just ported it, all I want is just that game on a modern system. They could put it on the Switch, they could put it on Android, they could put it on like Steam or Good Old Games. I just want to be able to play that game without breaking the bank. And on the go would be nice too. There never was a portable PlayStation 1. I mean, the PSP obviously, but they didn't put Lunar the Eternal Blue on the PSP, which is a real lost opportunity, but whatever. Full anime like cutscenes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean they had them. There's no reason we can't go back to them, and they did it with Lunar Silver Star Story. They redid that whole game, put it on iOS, and did not use anything from Victor Ireland. So it's possible. It's plausible. Um, but they just haven't done Eternal Blue for whatever reason. Lunar Silver Star has gotten 3 remakes, and Eternal Blue only 1, and I really want them to redo that again, even if it's a port. Um, Kemco vomits out games like this for breakfast. And if Kemco could get the rights to just do Lunar the Eternal Blue, it'd be great. They wouldn't have to do anything with it. I know, I don't think you can do much more with Trigger's plot anymore, like all the plot threads are tied up. I just want Magus to find his damn sister, really, is all there is to it. Plus, you just can't catch lightning in the bottle twice. Yeah, you're right about that. But at the same time, a lot of those people went on to do another Eden, and they're doing it. Although it's a mobile game and it's kind of lame, but they really tried to encompass all of that stuff. And I wish that they would have done it in a way that wasn't a mobile game, but you know. Sorry, I'm looking at some messages now. But yeah, does anybody have any questions? Other than that was a great question about the what I would choose. I always forget to answer my own questions. What was your favorite setting of Chrono Trigger? Favorite setting of Chrono Trigger? Probably Zeal. It was the most imaginative. And not to say the others weren't, but like, okay, so you had the future, and that was the future. You had the Middle Ages, and that was, the Middle Ages. You knew what you were expecting. You went back prehistoric. That was just like cavemen, and they were really neat, and they did really neat things with them. But Zeal, I felt like, was a departure from most time travel stories. It wasn't like the Time Machine, or it wasn't like um, most stories that go through like periods of history. It was something completely different. Poor James can't ever find Shala again. He's stuck mind wipe as Guile. At least he's content being a random itinerant magician. Yeah, I guess. Like, see, it would be really cool if they just did a little, like, it wouldn't have to be a very involved game, but like, give him a Dirge of Cerberus. Like, is that so hard? Could we just get a Dirge of Cerberus for Magus? I would like that. That would be a thing that I would enjoy. Cool floating islands, Majocracy. Actually kind of like Netheril. And yeah, see, there's just a lot about Zeal that I think was very interesting and exciting. All right. Any other questions? Once again, I implore anyone who has not spoken to say something. Say hello. I would appreciate a hello. If not, we will end the stream relatively early. Actually, like last stream was almost 3 hours, and regrettably, I can't make this stream that long. There's a lot more planning that I would do if I had a longer stream, with just some of the new things and maybe talking about some of the games that I'm going through. A lot of people are really gravitating towards the Mediterranean one, and that was the one that I had the least personal interest in. But that's my fault for saying it. Ozil is great. That's where Masato Kato takes the reins of the plot from Hori and Sakaguchi, and he goes wild with the existential dread and horror. Yeah, imagine if it were an open world remake and you could find all kinds of stuff from the past in the epochs. Yeah, that would be awesome too. Like, I'd be cool with that. Or just having a game that was separate from Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, where you play as a paleontologist who's trying to like put the pieces together of like all of this weirdness, and in a very Back to the Future way, like the things you're gathering and trying to like find the evidence of changes as the people are doing all of their wacky things. And so eventually you get sucked into the time travel too, and you leave messages for yourself. It writes itself. Listen to what I'm saying. This would be an amazing game if somebody wanted to do it. And then you oops a Lavos. Yeah, you might oops a Lavos. I mean, Lavos is, ugh, Lavos is almost not inconsequential at this point. Like, I think the message to take away from Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross is that basically the presence of a Lavos will spur time to create something that will remove Lavos. So it's like time is like weirdly self-correcting, but then gets up to other shenanigans. I still need to play Cross. I will play Cross when it is on the Switch. Because I tried. I wasn't wild about the fighting system of Cross, because I had borrowed it from a friend in high school, and I tried playing it. I really did, and I just couldn't get into it. But I don't know. That was a different time in my life. I'll give it another shot. The music was brilliantly beautiful. The graphics also, for being a PS1 era game, were also very good. Then in the end, the version of Luca pops up and at the end and tells you you've gone and made things worse. Well, yes, why not? What is a good time travel story if not making things worse? You'll say, I wish I didn't squish that fish. That was like me and the navigation in the Saga games. I got so lost all the time and gave up. Now, Eli, are you talking about the original Game Boy Saga games, or are you talking about the ones that came after? Because Saga 3 was, I think, the first one that had some real thorough time travel wonkiness, and that one could be a little bit confusing at times. But yeah, I didn't play anything after Saga 3, although I love those games. I actually never played Saga 2, and I can play them on the Switch, so I probably will. But yeah, I really did try with like Saga Frontier, Saga, whatever, like all of those extra Saga games on the PlayStation 2. I could not get into them. I just had such a hard time wanting to play them, but I don't know. Well, that's another story for another time. Time for one more question. How are we looking for questions? Poor Luca is the only one who really sees what she and her friends did in the grand scheme of things, and it absolutely destroys her. Drive safe. Thank you. Yeah, so my plan is to get up in at 5 in the morning and, you know, try and make a good drive of it. Let's see. All right. So, what's your least favorite JRPG sequel remake? Oh God. Okay, that's easy. Least favorite sequel slash remake, hands down, bar none, no competition. Lunar Dragon Song. I hate Lunar Dragon Song so much. I hate it. I wish they never would have made it. Um, Lunar Dragon Song was the reason I bought a Game Boy DS. And while I don't regret the purchase of the Game Boy DS, I do regret the purchase of Lunar Dragon Song heavily. I heavily regret that purchase. It's such a bad game. It's the worst game I think I've ever played in that genre. And have I said why I hate the Lunar Dragon Song on the stream yet? Oh, I think I might have during the video game streams at some point, but I don't think so during this particular like the 8 games a week stream. Oops. You haven't mentioned it in this stream format, no. All right, so sorry, I was looking at something real quick. Give me a moment. Okie dokie. I just remembered a PS1 game I had where you raised and trained dragons. You got them from loading random CDs. Time to Google it. You're talking about Monster Rancher, maybe? I did really like Monster Rancher. Monster Rancher 3, I think it was, had a little sombrero monster. God, that was so funny. And they were like Tamagotchi. They would die within like a handful of weeks. Dragon Seeds? Oh, wow, that's totally different. Alright. So, Lunar Dragon Song, Why Do I Hate Thee? So, first of all, you have to pick between experience and not money. What do I mean when I say not money? So, the not money is goods you have to deliver through delivery jobs to get money. On every delivery takes you through dungeons and overworlds with stupid, boring battles. So the most important thing about that is you can run in, we'll just call it Latter-day Saints. You can run in LDS, but doing so drains hit points. So if you don't want to be a goober and just walk your way everywhere, you sacrifice your hit points. You lose like 1 hit point per half second of running. And I guess that's not as bad at the later levels, but when you're going through random battles that are draining your hit points anyways, it's really fucking obnoxious. So you can run, but doing so drains hit points. Game was half finished, and the story ends extremely unsatisfactorily. The story is so bad. Like, let me tell you, like, on top of all of that, the narrative is just so awful. Um, and it's like, it's basically a rehash of Lunar Silver Star with worse everything, worse characters, um, worse interaction, worse dialogue, worse everything. And then you fight a mid boss. See the final boss. He falls to his death. Game over. That's the game. So they work up this like mid boss where you have to fight this big rancor looking motherfucker, and you fight him over and over again. Like, oh, you've just like deterred this inevitable final conflict, kind of like the last Guardian on or Final Guardian on Final Fantasy VI. That weird big mech you have to fight over and over again. So it's like that. You have to keep fighting him over and over again. He kills one of your party members. He's like, "Rawr, I'm so dangerous and evil." And finally, you defeat him for the last time, and it's like, okay, great, that's done. Let's fight this final battle. You go and you meet the guy who has caused you all this grief throughout the entire game, and you're like, this is going to be a really good final battle. This is going to make all this stupid shit worth it. And an earthquake hits, and he falls to his death, and that's it. Yeah, Looney, Dragon Song characters are so horrifically out of shape, running causes some damage. Well, and the main character kicks. His weapon is shoes. So he should be in shape. Dude is like a dancer or something. He capoeiras the enemies to death, but at the same time, like, walking causes him pain. Maybe because he's kicking things all the time. I don't know. It's incredibly, or like, I wouldn't recommend this game to anyone. I would, God, like, I would play King's Knight over this game. I would like maybe play Cheetah Man 2 over this game. Um, I would play like, I don't know, Super Noah's Ark over this game. I can't even think of a JRPG that's like in the same category as this game. It's so horrible. It's so bad. Like, I don't know if y'all have like your bottom 5 JRPGs, but this one's like my number 1 with a bullet. Hate, hate, hate this game. I don't even care that I spoiled the ending to this game. Like, it spoils its own ending. It fucking sucks. Excuse me. But okay. That is all the time I have for today. I am welcoming any other comments regarding how shitty Lunar Dragon Song is. But otherwise, we will be ending the stream soon. I hope that y'all who might have been listening quietly and not chatting, that you have at least had some fun. Oh yeah, I got a JRPG shit list all right. I'll post it to you at some point. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. But yeah, here we go. We're doing stuff. Eli, I'm glad that I was able to stream. I would have felt really bad if I had missed it. You've been very fastidiously coming to all of them, and obviously, Lenny, you as well. So I'm glad that you both were here, and were a great source of conversation. So thank you. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and stop for tonight. Thank you all. Is good times. Yes. And we'll have an excellent question of the day next week, and we will have more stuff. We will kind of flesh out what the new games are going to look like, and so on. Thank you, love. I'm glad that we were able to stream tonight. But here we go. We're ending, and as always, remember that I plan and play games for you.